because we have, you know, we were together always in Kapatagan, and then in Isabel we were there.
Yeah, we were there in Isabel.
Yes, and
That
then
was a good, you know, memorable, unforgettable
times,
times.
yeah. So we learned a lot there
We learned a lot
about business, about business
and about finances.
and finances. Yes. And then we have not seen each other for over 30 years.
Over 30 years.
Yes. So I think it's time now to remember, you know, going back, what happened to our lives.
Oh yes.
Because we
Yeah.
didn't have any communication.
Yes.
We only had communication last year.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, we chatted a lot, and then, you know, you said, "Oh, I will be in."
No, not last year. This year.
Ah, yes, this year it was in March.
March. When I went home, I got your number.
Yes, but in 2000, I think last year you were in the Philippines.
Yeah, I think yes, I did.
And then you visited my sister,
Yeah.
Imelda, and also my nieces,
Yeah.
and you asked you know, about
Your
my
number.
email
Yeah.
address, but I told them they should, you know, send to you, they should provide you, but I don't know what happened.
No, I didn't get it.
You know,
Mila was the one who gave it to me.
yes, thanks, Mila. And now it's really good to just to reminisce what happened.
Yeah.
During these days and
Yes.
the years.
Yeah. So we can learn from it.
Yeah, over 30 years. Yeah, we have not seen each other.
Yeah.
So, you know, in the Philippines, we were in Isabel. We learned there the fundament of business.
Yes.
The fundament of managing.
Yeah.
Yes. I studied in San Carlos Commerce.
Yeah.
And I, thanks God, I passed. I am a certified public accountant.
Yes.
And then I worked in Mandawi.
You worked in Mandawi?
I worked also in Cebu. And then in 1992, in June 1992, I arrived in Germany because, you know, I was married to a Bavarian guy.
Yo.
Yes.
George.
It was in 1992.
Okay.
But you know, I was not pregnant immediately. I got Michael when I was 29.
Okay.
So between this, I think 1998 when I gave birth to Michael. So between 1992 and 1998, I was busy. First, I had to learn German language. I went to school. It was a 2 years course. I learned a lot about German history, German literature, German economy, and all, of course, the German grammatic. And after that, I had a 6-month training course for bookkeeping, because I just wanted to learn the German accounting standards and German taxation. I didn't want to study here in Germany, although when I presented my school documents, I can here study medicine. Yeah, so education here is for free, so I could study medicine for free. But I don't like it now, because you know we have family back home, and I wanted to to earn money. So after my training, I landed a job, and it was not, didn't earn minimum wage.
Wow.
Yes, I started earning money as an expert. So
wow.
So my first
job was a good pay.
A good pay, and my first really project was to implement a software, a finance software in the company. So it was just like that. I did not plan it, but of course I sent a lot of applications to different companies, but I was not lucky. But my classmate in the bookkeeping course, recommended me to my former manager. So I was just lucky. There's because I also helped in this course. Lots of people, lots of my classmates, I helped them, and they also got good grades because of me. So there's a good karma in helping people. And what about you? What did you do?
Well, I went to like you, but I did it in Samis.
Mhm.
I went to business school, majoring accounting,
Mhm.
but I didn't like. I was planning to take the review
Mhm.
for the board exam, but then I started having a pimple,
Yeah.
and then I got married in
Really?
1991, and I came to Texas December 1991.
Okay.
So then at that time, I went to school for nurse's aid to shower patients, and
Okay.
to shower patient. It was like 8 months course just to get a job because it's very hard for me to find a job in Texas. Most of the people there
As a big bookkeeper,
as a
it's hard.
bookkeeper.
Yeah, it's
No,
hard.
it's very hard. And even like even like at the store, because majority of the people there speak Spanish, and I
Okay.
do not have the language. I'm not bilingual. I can speak English, but my English is very limited. So I decided to go for training 8 months for nursing assistant, and my first job was a minimum wage at that time.
How much was
And
that?
that was I got the job in 1993, and I was making $4.63 per hour,
Okay.
and I would have to fight for overtime to make $6 per hour.
Okay.
So when I started when I was having I was pregnant with my first child when I finished when I was working as a nurse's aide at a nursing home. Then I had my baby, and I pursue my education to licensed vocational nursing. So my baby was born, and I applied for vocational nursing, and I passed. So I went to school in the morning and
Okay.
work as nurse's aide from 2 to 10
In the evening.
evening shift. Then I found out the same month when I started my nursing school as a licensed vocational nurse was an 18 months course.
Okay.
So the first month I was in school, I found out I was pregnant with my second child.
Oh God.
So it was like my baby was like 6 months old, and I was pregnant again. So then I pursue I was just praying that I will make it, and so I struggled because I had to keep a job. My husband was retired from the post office, and he was bringing home 1,360 a month.
So it's really not enough
Oh yeah,
to feed the family.
no,
No.
it's not. So that's what I would on the weekend I would try to get an overtime so I can pay my tuition.
Okay.
My tuition fee at that time for 18 months course is $5,000. So so then I really live in a tight budget. So then 18 months I just had a baby for I took 1 week vacation to have my baby, deliver my baby.
Yes.
Yeah, and then back to school again. And then I went back to work also, but I was on a light duty. So my employer was very understanding. So make story short, 18 months later, I became a licensed vocational nurse. And at that time, I was
Can you explain us what is licensed vocational nurse? And
licensed
in the
vocational
United
nurse
States?
is like a crash course of nursing, and it's a lower, you know, lower license compared to registered nurse.
Ah,
The
okay.
difference is the registered nurse has more knowledge in care planning
Okay.
and management, and but the actual clinical work is almost the same, except that only the registered nurse can start a blood transfusion, and only a registered nurse can be in the operating room. Only the registered nurse can do an IV push, and the rest we do the same.
Ah, okay, but
But
now
the salary is different. It's very a licensed vocational nurse is making a lot less.
but when you become a licensed vocational nurse, you have higher working higher salary per hour.
I was well. I had to move. So when I got my license first, I took my experience from the nursing home where I was working as a assistant, a shower patient. So I worked there for less than a year. It's because I got pregnant again. So my second baby was 8 months old, and I got pregnant with my
Oh yeah.
third child. So when I got pregnant with my third child, I decided that because I'm gonna have three, I do not want to work in a nursing home anymore. I moved to a hospital. When I moved to the hospital, I was working a third shift, which is 3 p.m. to 11, 3 p.m. to 11
PM.
p.m. So, so I would have time for my children, and I was making there like only $10 per hour. That's all that the difference. Plus, I have a night shift. Then I move again because my goal was getting experience. So I moved to another place again, and they paid me $15. At that time, my baby was born already. Then after 4 years, I move again to a surgical place where I was making more like $15, but I went to an agency nurse where I was making like 32, 48. It was different. Different hospital pays different. So from $30 to $50 an hour as a licensed vocational nurse. And when my baby was born, like when Joseph was 1 year old, I decided to go back to school online.
Yes.
Like self-study.
What kind of course?
For my registered nurse.
Okay, so
Because if you are already a licensed vocational nurse, you don't have to go to school. I got the skills already of a nursing. All what I need is the theory of a registered nurse.
To manage to have the skills of management.
Yeah, because it's more. You need more information. There's more education to it to become a registered nurse. But the skills they don't really teach us. I already know it as a licensed vocational nurse. So I was working at the hospital. At that time, the shift was changed to a 12-hour shift.
Okay.
So I will work 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 o'clock at night, and then I would go home, and I would have to open my book and start studying, and all the subjects required for me to become a registered nurse. I didn't remember how many subjects, they required me. It was a lot. And, well, to make the story short, Joseph was 1 year old when I enrolled online for my registered nursing course. And Joseph was 8 years old when I got my license.
So,
it was a long journey.
Yes, I think we also be thankful to your husband Jew, because he really also was really a good husband and man, and he took good care of your children, 3 children. Just imagine. I only have 1 child, and I don't know. It's just like so much stress. From both sides in all directions. Because you have to manage also the family, even if you are not, we were not always there, but somehow you needed to time for your children.
Yes.
And then because of financial, situation, you
Yeah.
really needed to go to work.
Yes.
And this time 3 to 11 a.m. or p.m. and then you change something.
Yeah.
But all the time you also worked and studied.
Yeah. It's at night.
3 courses.
Yeah.
So can you please, because I also studied, I will tell you later on, how did you manage, when did you study? Because all the time you were working.
Okay. Well, I think
How
business
can
all
you
the time.
maybe because I think people were just thinking, or lots of people will think,
It's impossible.
yeah, in the Philippines it's not impossible, or in the Philippines they may think that life abroad is just very easy.
Yeah.
But you see, you did not get the bookkeeper job because of the language barrier. The same here, I could never get a job when I did not invest time, 2 years, to study German language.
Yeah.
And now
That's true.
here you are. You wanted to to be successful in the nursing field.
Yeah.
So 3 courses you really have to take.
Yeah. I went
But
step by step.
when did you study? You have 3 children, study time.
Well, the reason I could not go straight to